Hey guys, it's John here coming to you with a DC Universe Classics figure review. Here I have for you today the magical Zatanna Zatara, who was part of Wave 14 and was a Walmart exclusive figure. So let's jump right in and have a close look at her packaging. Packaging wise, Zatanna here comes in your standard clamshell packaging with a cardboard backing displaying the many superheroes in the DC Universe. Of course, with the DC Universe Classics logo at the top here, as well as Zatanna's name at the bottom, which conceals our bonus Build-A-Figure piece, which is the Ultra Humanite's arm. To the sides here, it just tells you that she's a Walmart exclusive and is for adult collectors, and to the other side, we just get a collector's pin. Something that I think is totally awesome about this packaging is that they took the time to mold in some little rabbits on the clamshell part itself, which is such a brilliant idea since Zatanna, of course, is a magician. Moving to the back, we just get a standard promotional image of the figure herself to the side here, as well as a little description about Zatanna herself and a few of her stats. Feel free to pause the video if you want to read them. At the bottom here, we just get the other figures in this wave that you'll need to get if you want to build the Ultra Humanite. So now let's jump right in and have a close look at Zatanna herself. So here we have Zatanna right out of packaging, and I have to say I am pretty excited to have my very first DC action figure. Looking at her face, we can see that she has a knowing smirk, which I think is a nice unique feature for Zatanna. Everything looks nice and clean paint wise, but to be honest, something feels a little bit off. I think something about her face seems a tad more on the masculine side, and her eyes appear to look more of an Asian appearance rather than Caucasian, which she is. Her skin tone as well appears to look like she's been tanning in the sun a little bit too much, being that she looks quite dark. As for hair, Zatanna has black mid-length hair with some blue shading in certain areas that gives the black a nice dimension, even though it does appear to strangely intensely focus in certain spots rather than her whole head. Moving down to Zatanna's outfit, we can see she is donning her classic attire, which is one of the main reasons I decided to purchase this Zatanna figure over the others. I love her magician costume, from her cropped penguin tail jacket to the conservative white button-up, red bow tie, yellow vest and black heels. Zatanna is also wearing her famous fishnet stockings, but rather than painting them on, they decided to actually use real material to actually convey real stockings. I think this is a pretty cool unique feature, but does seem to be a little bit more of a hassle with it limiting her articulation, as well as being a huge eyesore with the connection of the material at the back. Dun dun dun! Body-wise, Zatanna stands a little bit on the taller side, but to be fair, she is wearing high heels. I think Zatanna's upper torso is perfect. The only thing that is a little bit off-putting to me is how her thighs seem so large and so muscular. This very much seems like a perfect body sculpt for a character like Wonder Woman, but for Zatanna, I personally would have gone a little bit smaller. Articulation wise, Zatanna here has 360 rotation in her head, though her head does limit it a lot. It is made out of a pliable material though, so you can push it out of the way if you really want her to have that much range. Her head also tilts up and down just a little bit. Her arms go completely 360 all the way around. It goes up about that much. She has a bicep swivel that also rotates completely 360. She has elbow range about 90 degrees. Her hands go completely 360 as well. She has a little bit of an ab crunch here that does barely anything at all, though it is there. Her legs can go forward, a little bit back, and it can't go out to the sides at all. She has a thigh swivel up here right above her knees that can rotate completely 360. Her knees can go about 90 degrees, and she has an ankle tilting motion. Height-wise, standing next to some other superheroes, DC Universe Classics Zatanna Zatara stands tall at 6.5 inches, whereas Toy Biz Mr. Fantastic stands tall at 6.5, Invisible Woman at 6, Figma Captain America stands at 6, and Iron Man at 6.5. Overall, for a female figure, she is on the taller side, but then again, she is wearing high heels. So now let's jump right in and have a closer look at Miss Zatanna's accessories. Accessories wise, Zatanna comes with the obvious, which is her father's magician hat and her trusty wand. The hat is very simple with nice sculpting and minimal paint details. It also has a little hook piece in the inner front part, as you guys can see there, that you supposedly are supposed to hook on her hair piece at the front here, but it doesn't really work all that well. It does fit though. At the end of the day, it is tilting to one side and the hat is overall a little bit too small for her head, and even if you bump her a little bit, it will fall off. It can be placed in her right hand though by just hooking it in. It is a little bit difficult, but you just need to shove it in really hard and she can hold it, which is pretty cool, as you guys can see. But as you guys may be able to see as well, it can cause little dents on the hat itself. This is how it arrived in packaging in her hand, which is a little bit unfortunate. Next is her magical wand, which is again very simple. There is just clean paint going on. There's not much really to it. It's a little bit dented as well from being an older toy and being warped a little bit when it was in her hand during packaging, though I don't mind that too much. It can easily slide into her left hand and it stays there without any rubber bands or anything, so that's pretty cool. Next, of course, we get our collector's pin with a picture of Zatanna herself in her newer form in the comics. That's very cool, very simple. I'm not really into collecting the pins, but if you are, it's a very nice inclusion. And lastly, of course, we get our bonus Build-A-Figure piece of the Ultra Humanite's right arm, which also includes this little remote doohickey, which is actually removable. If you just pull it out, there you go, it's removable. It's pretty cool. It has some metallic pearlescent paint on it. Nicely done. The yellow paint is nice as well. I especially really love the sculpting on the arm hair itself. I think they did a really good job. Articulation wise, it can move up and down at the joint of the arm itself. Elbow has about 9 degrees in range. His hands can also tilt up and down and rotate completely 360, which is pretty cool. But I personally am not looking to build him, so it's just kind of a spare piece that I won't do anything with. Overall, even though I do have my criticisms about this figure, from her overall sculpting to her lack of articulation, I have to say I am truly happy to have Zatanna on my shelf and part of my superhero team. Leaving on a positive note, I will say this is one of the best Zatanna figures around with this classic costume, which I truly love. I recommend this figure to any Zatanna, DC, or superhero enthusiasts in general, and until next time, I will see you guys soon. Bye!